As you learned in geometry, the equation of circles is computed from distance. So if we take any general circle and we call its center HK, and we call a point on the circle XY, we should be able to compute the equation of a circle using the length of the radius. So as you recall, distance is the difference of your x's squared plus the difference of your y's squared, and then everything square rooted. So if I am going to find this distance of r, I need to take r equals the square root of x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. And to get an equation without a square root, I would simply have to square both sides. So if I take this whole thing and square it, and this whole thing and square it, I get r squared equals x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. And that is the equation of a circle. R squared equals x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. Now knowing that, we should be able to plot any circle, derive any circle given a radius and a center, and we're first going to start with plotting a circle. So if we are to draw the circle y squared equals 4 minus x squared, notice our x's and y's are all on the same side of the equal. So let's first move the x squared by adding it. And you have x squared plus y squared equals 4. Since there is no h back here, h is 0. And k, there is no k back here, so k is 0. So my center is at 0, 0. 4 stands for the radius squared. So r squared equals 4. If I want just the radius, I must square root both sides, and r equals 2. From there, we should be able to plot our circle. Plot your center 0, 0, and then draw a radius out 2 from your center all the way around so that you can sketch a nice circle. Okay, ready to try another? I'm going to put up the screen and just pull this one down. Graph x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 9. Again, for my general equation, it was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Here, h is 1, k is 4, so my center is 1, 4, when it is in the minus form. R squared is 9. So square root both sides to find the radius, which is 3. Plot your center, 1, 4. Go out a radius of 3. 1, 2, 3. Up, 3, left, 2, 3, and down, 1, 2, 3. Sketch a circle as best you can. Okay. Some other kinds of problems we're going to run into are finding equations of tangents to a circle. Here we have a circle whose center is 0, 0, so I'm just going to sketch that for myself. And I have negative 2, 5 is a point on the circle. So if I would find this radius, I could generate the equation of the circle. So again, the radius will equal this distance from negative 2 minus 0 squared plus 5 minus 0 squared, which is the square root of negative 2 squared plus 5 squared, which is the square root of 4 plus 25, which is the square root of 29 for my radius. They gave you the center as the origin, so putting it in my equation, it is x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals square root of 29 squared. X minus 0 is x squared. Y minus 0 is y squared. The square root of 29 squared is 29. I've now generated the equation of a circle with a point on the circle, which does lead me naturally to my tangency. Now we want the equation of a line that would be tangent to a given circle. And if you recall, tangents are perpendicular to the radius at the point of tangency. Therefore, the slope of a tangent will be the opposite reciprocal of the radius. So once again, if we look at this equation, x squared plus y squared equals 17. That's my circle. There is no h, there is no k, so that makes my center 0, 0. I am tangent at this point 1, 4. So this would create my radius. And if you need to, we can draw ourselves a little circle. And we have 1, 4. And we're going to have a tangent coming out here. So this tangent is perpendicular right at that point. So if I find the slope of this radius, I know I need perpendicular slope through this point. So the slope is 4 minus 0, change in y's, over 1 minus 0, change in x's, which is 4 over 1. The perpendicular slope would then be negative 1/4. So my equation of my tangent will be using point slope. This point, 1, 4, was on the tangent with this slope. So it is y minus 4 equals negative 1/4 times x minus 1. Y minus 4 equals negative 1/4 x. Negative, negative makes it positive. And 1/4 times 1 is 1/4. Add the 4. And we get y equals negative 1/4 x plus 4 1/4. Which, if we wanted to change that to improper, it would be y equals 1/4 x plus 16 17/4. And there's my equation. Let's write an equation of a circle whose center is 4, negative 1, and radius is 7. Again, remember the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. So this becomes x minus 4 squared plus y minus negative 1 squared equals 7 squared. X minus 4, that's as good as that simplifies. Plus minus minus makes a plus. Y plus 1 quantity squared equals 7 squared, 49. Now I've simplified everything. Just one more to try. This would be x minus negative 3 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals square root 3 squared. Negative negative makes a plus. So this is x plus 3 squared plus y minus 0 is y squared. Square root of 3 squared is 3. That creates that equation. And to show you a use of circles in real life, let's take an example. A street light can be seen on the ground within 30 yards of its center. If you are driving and are 10 yards east and 25 yards south of the light, write an inequality to describe the region on the ground that is lit by the light. So here's my street light, and it can be seen on the ground within 30 yards of its center. So it can be seen here, 30 yards of its center. If you are 10 yards east, so I go 10 east and 25 south, will you be within the circle of the light? So the inequality would be x squared plus y squared. Is it less than 30 squared? Which is x squared plus y squared. Is it less than 900? Well, let's see what we have. This would create a distance of 10 squared plus 25 squared. What's that equal? 100 plus 25 squared is 625. Gives me 725. Is 725 less than 900? Yes, it is. So is your street light visible? Yes. Let's see. I do have voter questions, but since I'm not here, I think we'll wait with those.